Harvard President Claudine Gay resigns.
China is pressing women to have more babies. Many are saying no.
All passengers on Japan Airlines jet evacuated after plane collision.
Japan quake death toll rises to 48.
Company in Texas County fighting 43,000 monkeys.
Michigan may win the national championship. Help! Help!
Jim Harbaugh is headed to the title game. Is he also headed to the NFL?
Top Hamas leader killed in suspected Israeli strike in Beirut. Israel remains divided despite show of wartime unity, court ruling underscores.
Donald Trump asks Maine court to reverse state's ballot ban.
Tesla falls behind China's BYD in quarterly EV sales.
BYD will take on World in 2024.
NASDAQ S&P 500 decline.
How often should you mess with your 401k? More than before.
These voters will decide the 2024 election. They don't like what they see. GOP's narrow control of House sets up barn burner in 2024.
Apps Telegram has good news, as its latest update brings a redesigned call interface that uses less of your phone's battery. This is beneficial for users as it helps conserve battery life while making calls. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, has good news as it cuts prices for the Quest 2 headset and accessories. This is advantageous for consumers as it makes the headset more affordable, allowing more people to access virtual reality experiences.
There is no specific company mentioned in the news about the best budgeting apps. It offers suggestions for individuals and startups, small businesses, which is helpful for those looking for budgeting tools. There is no specific company mentioned in the news about the best budgeting apps. It offers suggestions for individuals and startups, small businesses, which is helpful for those looking for budgeting tools. GitHub has good news as it makes Copilot Chat generally available, allowing developers to ask questions about code. This is useful for developers subscribed to Copilot for Business, enhancing their workflow and productivity.
OpenAI faces a lawsuit filed by the New York Times. Bad news. This indicates a potential legal challenge for OpenAI and could affect its reputation and financial stability.
OpenAI takes steps to address data privacy regulations in the EU. Good news. OpenAI's move shows a proactive approach to ensuring compliance with data privacy laws, which can help build trust with customers and stakeholders.
OpenAI emphasizes the importance of ethical AI. Good news. OpenAI's focus on ethical AI demonstrates its commitment to responsible technology development and can enhance its reputation in the industry.
Chinese robotaxi startups face roadblocks. Bad news. This suggests challenges and setbacks for the companies, which may impact their growth prospects and investment opportunities.
GitHub makes Copilot Chat available for developers. Good news. This expansion of features can benefit developers using GitHub, providing them with a helpful resource for code-related questions and improving their productivity. Novartis has announced a potential $1.3 billion gene therapy deal with Voyager Therapeutics. This partnership aims to use Voyager's capsid technology to develop gene therapies for Huntington's disease and spinal muscular atrophy. Capsids are protective shells that surround the genetic material in viruses and can be used to deliver therapeutic genes into cells. This collaboration could potentially lead to significant advancements in treating these neurological conditions.
Roche has signed a potentially lucrative deal worth $1 billion with China's MedLink Therapeutics to collaborate and develop a next-generation antibody-drug conjugate, ADC, for the treatment of cancer. The ADC market has seen significant growth recently, and this partnership signifies Roche's commitment to advancing oncology treatments. Verona Pharma has received positive news as it secures a debt financing facility worth $400 million from Oxford Finance and Hercules Capital. This financial boost will aid in the potential launch of its drug candidate ensifentrine, which is designed to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. This support will allow Verona Pharma to further develop and potentially bring this treatment option to patients with COPD.
Immunity Bio has announced a positive development with a $320 million royalty deal. This deal comes ahead of the FDA decision expected in April 2024. The agreement will provide Immunity Bio with the necessary funds to potentially launch its bladder cancer drug if it receives approval from the FDA.
FDA has a good news for Iovance and Madrigal. Iovance's Lifileucel has been approved for advanced melanoma, while Madrigal's resmetirom has been approved for non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, NASH. Advanced melanoma refers to a type of skin cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. Lifileucel is a type of immunotherapy that uses the patient's own white blood cells to fight the cancer. Non-alcoholic steatohepatitis is a condition where there is inflammation and damage to the liver caused by a buildup of fat. Resmetirom is a drug that helps to reduce inflammation and improve liver health in patients with NASH. These approvals are significant as they provide new treatment options for patients suffering from these conditions.
Master AML trial has a good news because it allows for a more targeted approach to cancer treatment, faster patient enrollment, and the flexibility to pivot. In other words, this trial, also known as an umbrella or basket trial, offers new hope for patients with acute myeloid leukemia, AML. It provides a more precise and personalized treatment approach, allowing for better outcomes and potentially saving lives. By enrolling patients more quickly and efficiently, the trial also ensures that potential treatments can be tested and approved faster. This is a significant development in the field of oncology and offers a new lease on life for AML patients.
Biopharma has a good news as AstraZeneca, BMS, and Roche concluded 2023 with a flurry of mergers and acquisitions, M&A activity. This indicates significant growth in the industry and sets the tone for potential M&A trends in 2024. M&A refers to the consolidation of companies through transactions like mergers, when two companies merge to form a new entity, or acquisitions, when one company purchases another. These deals often involve high-value transactions and can impact the market dynamics within the biopharma sector.
Pfizer, Sanofi, and Takeda have announced that they will increase drug prices this month, despite the Biden administration's efforts to lower drug prices. This news comes from an exclusive report by Reuters. Increasing drug prices means that the cost of medications produced by these companies will go up, potentially making them less affordable for consumers.
Ascentage Pharma has good news because they will be presenting at the 42nd J.P. Morgan Healthcare Conference. This is a significant event in the healthcare industry, where Dr. Dajun Yang, the chairman and CEO of Ascentage Pharma, will give a presentation about the company. It is an opportunity for Ascentage Pharma to showcase their achievements, research, and potential to a wide audience of industry professionals. Attending such conferences can boost the company's reputation, attract potential investors and collaborators, and create new opportunities for growth and development. It indicates that Ascentage Pharma is making progress in the field of healthcare and is considered a significant player in the industry.
MIT scientists are working on a vibrating obesity pill. Good news. The vibrating capsule is being compared to drinking water prior to eating, which can help simulate the sensation of feeling full. This innovation can potentially aid in managing obesity and weight loss. Chinese AI startup sets sights on the U.S. Neutral news. The startup is expanding its overseas pursuits, which could yield positive results for their business. However, the rising geopolitical tensions may pose challenges. Dog cancer treatment company ImpriMed aims to expand into human oncology. Good news. ImpriMed's AI-powered technology for canine cancer treatment can potentially revolutionize human oncology by helping identify suitable drugs for individual patients.
Apple Watch Series 9 sales halted over patent dispute. Bad news. Apple has officially halted online sales of the Watch Series 9 due to a patent dispute. This could impact the company's revenue and customer satisfaction.
Valley investors target cow burps to fight against methane emission. Neutral news. The investors are addressing the issue of methane emissions by targeting cow burps. This initiative may have positive environmental consequences.
First Cry, India's e-commerce platform for mother and baby products, plans to raise $218 million in an IPO. This is good news as it indicates potential growth and expansion for the company.
Etsy, an e-commerce platform, is facing challenges and layoffs. This is bad news as it suggests difficulties in the company's operations and potential financial instability.
The EU's provisional deal on gig worker rights did not receive enough backing from member states. This is bad news for gig workers as it indicates a delay in improving their rights and protections. Home Cooks, positioning itself as the Etsy of food, raised $3.2 million in seed funding. This is good news as it demonstrates investor confidence and support for the company's concept.
Africa's B2B e-commerce platforms, MaxAB and Wasoko, are in merger talks. This is potentially good news as it could result in a stronger and more competitive B2B platform in the African market. Crypto, why Puma is sticking to its Web3 bets as crypto shakes off a long-held winter. Puma is sticking to its Web3 bets despite the challenges faced by the crypto industry in 2023. This is considered good news because it shows Puma's confidence in the long-term potential of Web3 technology.
India to block crypto exchanges. Binance, Kraken websites. The Indian government is planning to block the websites of several global crypto exchanges, including Binance and Kraken. This is bad news for these exchanges as it restricts their access to the Indian market, which could impact their user base and trading volume.
Love 'em or hate 'em, NFTs can survive thanks to the communities that drive them. Despite criticism, NFTs are believed to have underlying value and are supported by strong communities. This is good news for NFTs as it suggests that they have the potential to persist and grow despite the negative sentiment surrounding them.
Hackers stole $2 billion in crypto in 2023, data shows. Hackers continued to target the crypto industry in 2023, stealing billions of dollars. However, the downward trend in the amount stolen compared to previous years is a positive development. While this news is bad overall, the decreasing trend indicates that security measures are improving.
SVB, SBF, and more. OpenAI, the 2023 Chronicles Part 2. This is a podcast episode that discusses the significant events of 2023, providing a summary of the year's highlights. No specific good or bad news is mentioned.
Biden has a good news. Their administration extended a temporary measure to suspend Trumpera tariffs on European steel and aluminum for 2 more years.
The data quality has a bad news. It is getting worse, which leads to fuzzier survey results due to falling response rates. The job market has a good news. Forecasters expect unemployment to edge higher and hiring to slow, which could aid the economy's soft landing.
Minimum wages have a good news. 22 states are lifting pay floors, although many low-paid workers like fast food cooks and housekeepers probably won't notice significant changes as they have already received bigger raises.
Central banks have a good news. Dissenting votes at the Federal Reserve's interest rate setting committee meetings have decreased significantly during Jerome Powell's tenure as the head of the central bank.
Spending has a good news, although people feel down. The Misery Index suggests that Americans shouldn't be all that miserable, but it may have taken some time for them to catch on. Investors hope for 2024, a return to long-lost normalcy. Investors are hopeful that markets can find a more stable equilibrium after recent rate increases.
There is a belief that 2024 could bring a return to a sense of normalcy in the markets.
The hope is that the volatility and uncertainty experienced in the past year will subside.
The expectation is that the markets will perform better and provide more consistent returns. This optimism is driven by the possibility of increased economic growth and improved market conditions.
However, there are concerns about challenges tied to regulations in California and previously sold oil and gas production assets in the Gulf of Mexico, which could result in significant charges for companies like Chevron.
Tech stocks have experienced a drop at the start of 2024, casting a pall over the overall market performance.
Interestingly, compulsively checking one's 401k is seen as a source of bad investment decisions. But in the current market environment, looking at one's portfolio more frequently could lead to missed opportunities. Silicon Valley Bank experienced an implosion, which could be seen as bad news for the fintech industry.
Vestwell raised $125 million in funding for their workplace savings programs, which is good news for the company. Salesforce acquired Spiff, an automated commission management platform, which is good news for Salesforce.
Tamra, a buy now, pay later platform, raised $340 million in funding and achieved a $1 billion valuation, which is good news for the company. The article discusses the ups and downs of fintech in 2023, so there is a mix of good and bad news overall.
Startups debunking the myth that crowdfunding is only good for cash. Good news for startups, as they have found value and benefits from crowdfunding investors beyond just capital.
Remembering the startups we lost in 2023, bad news as it discusses the collapse of startups, highlighting that not all startup failures result in high-profile court cases or prison time.
Startups Yearly, the biggest startup stories from 2023, not specified. But with hopes for greener grass in Germany vanishing, consolidation is in the cards for cannabis companies. Bad news for cannabis startups, as legal cannabis markets in 2023 did not progress, making funding environment more challenging.
The TechCrunch Plus surveys you need to read ahead of 2024, not specified.
Venture Tech for Palestine launches to provide tools to help support Palestinians. Good news. This initiative aims to support Palestinians by providing them with tools and resources.
Countdown Capital shutting down. Bad news. The early-stage venture capital firm focused on hard tech industrial startups is closing down, which could indicate challenges or financial difficulties. Debunking the myth that crowdfunding is only good for cash. Good news. Startups are claiming that crowdfunding investors provide value beyond capital, challenging the misconception that crowdfunding is only about raising funds.
Remembering the startups we lost in 2023. Mixed news. While startup collapses are not always high profile, this article highlights the reality that not all startups succeed.
The TechCrunch Plus surveys you need to read ahead of 2024. Neutral news. TechCrunch shares surveys reflecting investors' and founders' thoughts, providing insights for the upcoming year.